Today's topic is employee benefits for special events of employees like marriage, motherhood, and death. Actually, I have a client asking these matters recently, so I make some summary of our reply. Taxation of congratulatory and condolence payments for employees in the case of marriage, childbirth, or death, some special events. Whether these congratulatory or condolence payments paid to the employee are considered taxable or not is a frequent issue in practice actually. Below is a summary based on Korea tax law. Number one, the taxable or non-taxable. Congratulatory or condolence payment may be treated either as taxable income or non-taxable income. Okay, so this can be classified into two categories: category A and category B. Category A is taxable income to the employee, and category B is non-taxable. Conditions for non-taxable treatment recognize A as welfare benefit. This non-taxable income to the employee is considered as welfare, employee welfare. Payment may be treated as non-taxable if all of the following conditions are met. Four conditions should be met in order to be accepted as non-taxable. Number one is the policy. There must be a formal policy applicable to all employees. The reason for payment and the amount must be stated in internal rules such as HR policy or a company handbook or welfare regulation. Number two is consistency in application. The same event must be treated with the same payment amount or calculation method. The same cases should be treated at the same manner. Number three is amount must be reasonable based on social norm. If the amount aligned with the general business practice, it is acceptable. It can be acceptable. Excessively large amount may be treated as taxable income. Even though there is a rule and then a compliance, consistent compliance, but amount is too high in terms of social norm, then it can be considered as taxable income. Number four, for instance, wedding gift from the company, like $5,000. This is normally thought too big, so this will be treated as taxable income instead of non-taxable income. And number four, the purpose is for employee benefit. So if the payment is actually considered as a reward of the performance, like a performance bonus, the substance is performance bonus, but it is disguised as the welfare, as the welfare, employee welfare. Then in that case, this performance bonus should be considered as a taxable income. When the number two is when the payment become taxable. When they become taxable, payment fall under taxable employment income and subject to withholding tax in the following cases. When meet the following conditions, that is considered as taxable income, so a tax should be computed. Number one is no internal policy exists, or only selected employee receive payments. There is no policy, or only the selected employee, limited employee will accept that benefit. So this is not universal. This is not every employee is not treated at the same manner. In that case, that can be taxable income. Number 2 is payment is essentially compensation or a bonus disguised as a ceremonial payment. As I mentioned, the purpose is important. This is actually the performance bonus. Then this cannot be non-taxable. Number 3, excessive amount. For example, wedding gift of 5 million Korea won. This is too much. So this can be considered as a taxable income, not non-taxable. So the accounting treatment is, if this is considered non-taxable, then the accounting, usually the account code will be employee welfare in G&A expense. And there is no need to make any withholding when pay the benefit. And if this falls under category of taxable income, then the account code will be salary or bonus. And then a certain withholding tax should be done. So the practice tips is clearly include ceremonial payment rules in HR or welfare regulation. For example, pay Korea won 200,000 for an employee's wedding, and so on. Number 2 is define amounts for various cases like marriage, childbirth, death, type of family relationship, etc. It is safe for the company to predetermine the amount. Of course, the amount can be varied as time passes by. For example, in the case of wedding, 200,000. In the case of death of the imminent family member, like parents, then 300,000. It's up to the company policy. Anyway, it is necessary to define the amount. Number 3 is ensure fairness and consistency for all employees. All employee is very important. All employee. And the amount should be reasonable. Excessively high payment may be treated as taxable compensation for the recipient. Okay. And also there is some privilege in the case of childbirth. Every cases that having a child is a blessing. So KoreaTax law also provides some privilege to the pregnant woman and their childbirth. Wage received by employee or employee spouse in relation to childbirth or children or childbirth or child care will be non-taxable to the employee as below. Number 1 is full amount of additional wage paid in accordance with the presidential decree up to 2 times within 2 years from the child date of birth in connection with the childbirth of the employee or the employee's spouse. Number 2 is wages paid by the employer for the child care of a child who is 6 years old or younger as of the beginning of the relevant taxable year up to a limit of 200,000 Korea won per month. This means that in 2 cases, very special tax rule, number A and number B. There is a very generous company ABC. company ABC has an employee K. Employee K himself or K's wife have a baby, a child birth. Okay. Then within 2 years from the childbirth date is 25, July the 1st, the 2 year will be 27, July, 6 July, June 30, okay? Within 2 years, in 2 times, the time is pay. This time, one time, and this time 2 times. Company pay to the employee for the child birth of employee herself or employee's spouse, the wife. In this case, this amount, the pay of number 1 and number 2, the amount will be totally non-taxable. This is really strikingly generous tax rules. Actually, one of the famous Korea construction companies proposed that if their employee or employee spouse has a child birth, then the company will give 100 million Korean won as a incentive or a ceremony money. This is huge amount, around 70,000 US dollar. This full amount will be non-taxable. Wow, this is really big. Okay. No limitation. That is important. Most of the cases, when tax law provides some benefit, privilege, there should be some limitation. But in this case, there is no limitation. I think that there's a lack of some law technique, or I don't know. But actually, currently, there is no ceiling of the tax benefit. Number 2 is rather small compared to this one. Monthly 200,000 won. Monthly. Paid to the employee or employee spouse for child care. The child of 6 years or younger. 6 years or younger to take the child care, and this has the ceiling monthly 200,000 Korean won. Then in that case taxable, non-taxable. This means if the company give the employee like 300,000 per month, then 300 minus 200, 100,000 will be taxable. So 200,000 is still non-taxable. This has a precondition. For these payments to be exempt from employee taxation, there must be a regulation in place that applies uniformly to all employees of the company. Okay? So, as you notice that there should be 2 preconditions. Number 1 is existence of rule, existence of policy, written policy. Okay, written policy. Number 2 is applied to every employee. These 2 conditions should be met. There should be a HR policy or handbook or which mention about this privilege, and number 2 is this should be applied to every employee. Now it's time to talk about leave. The leave is also very important because recently the employees, the younger generations want their own lifestyle and they like to travel around, so the leave is very important. Korea's Labor Standard Act, Article 60. Article 60, number 1. Every employer shall grant an employee who has worked for more than a year a paid leave of 15 days a year. This means that if employee work more than a year, 1 year, then 15 days is given. Number 2 is every employer shall grant an employee who has continuously worked for 3 years or more 1 day for every 2 working years additionally. So this means that, for instance, working year and number of leave. Work 1 year, 15 days. 2 year, 15 days. 3 year, 16 days. 16 days plus 1. 4 years, 16. 5 years, 17 days plus 1. Okay. The number of leave increase 1 day per 2 years. In such cases, the total number of paid leave days, including this additional pay, shall not exceed 25 days. 25 days is the maximum. So start from 15 days, maximum additional is 10 days. So finally the total, the maximum day is 25 days. 25 days is actually the working day, so per week, we have 5-day work per week. So actually this is equal to 5 weeks, more than a month. Protection of pregnant employee, Labor Standard Act 74. We also have a protection of a pregnant woman, pregnant employee, for woman employee only. This is Labor Standard Act, Article 74. Okay. Employer shall grant a pregnant woman a total of 90-day maternity leave, 120-day maternity leave if she is pregnant with at least 2 children at a time, more than 2 children, before and after childbirth. In such cases, at least 45 days. In case of in case of more than one child, then 60 days of the leave period after childbirth shall be allowed. Okay. So the rule is, when an employee is pregnant, then this is the birth date, then total 90 days should be given, and after the birth should be more than 45 days. So employee can choose to make the combination, like a 30-day, 60-day, this is okay. 45, this is okay. And 60, 30, this is not accepted. But if the employee insists to have a holiday like this, it is also allowed. But company cannot insist this kind of combination to the employee, because the law prescribes that after the birth it should be more than 45 days or more. Number 2 is, where a pregnant female employee requests the leave under paragraph 1 due to her experience of miscarriage or other reason prescribed by presidential decree, employer shall allow her to use the leave at multiple times any time before her childbirth. This also usually the child birth leave is in consecutive days, consecutive 9 days. But for instance, if the employee want to make it multiple times before the child was, it should be allowed. When she has a history of miscarriage or something. So this is childbirth, birth date, and should be more than 45 days. An employee want to have the leave 15 days one time, 15 days one time, and 15 days one time. This kind of, this is not continuous holiday leave, but this also should be allowed. Number 3 is where a pregnant woman has a miscarriage or stillbirth, employer shall, upon the relevant employee request, grant her a miscarriage leave as prescribed by cleansel decree. And when employee has a miscarriage or stillbirth, this is tragedy, and in this case, she is eligible to additional leave. Number 4 is the first 60 days in the period of leave under paragraph 1 shall be stipendiary. So the employee work has 3 months, 90-day holiday. No, first month, second month, third month. First month and third month, the company should pay as normal pay. And third month, company is not liable to pay. So only last month, third month, company is free from paying the salary. Number 5 is no employer shall order a female employee in pregnancy to engage in overtime work, and if there exists a request from the relevant employee, she transfer her to an easy type of work. So employee or employee's spouse, even employee or employee's spouse ask some transfer to easy work. It should be allowed, and employee is not allowed to work overtime. Company cannot insist her to do overtime. Number 6 is the business owner shall reinstate her to the same work or to the work for which wages of the same level as before. Leave are paid after the end of the maternity leave, which means that after the maternity leave of 3 months finish, the employer should be back to her original place or even the same position which she pay the same salary. Number 7 is where a female employee who has been pregnant for not more than 12 weeks and not less than 32 weeks requests a reduction of work 2 hours, employer should permit it. This is the pregnant period before 12 weeks and after 32 weeks. Before 12 weeks and after 32 weeks, this is usually considered as a risky period. So in that case, if employee want to reduce her working hour by 2 hours a day, it should be accepted. Number 8, in this case, employer cannot reduce the employee's wage or salary. Number 9, where a pregnant female employee requests to modify the start and end time of work hour while maintaining the contractual daily work hours, employer should permit. Number 9 is the pregnant employee want to shift her working hour For instance, company's normal hours 9 to 6. She want to have 10 to 7 or 8 to 5. It should be allowed. And we also have a special rule. The law name is Equal Employment Opportunity and Work-Family Balance Assistance Act. This is very long name, and in Article 18-2, it prescribes of paternity leave. Paternity leave is the leave of the husband, the father. Article 18-2, paternity leave. Number 1 is, if an employee requests leave due to his spouse's childbirth, paternity leave, employer shall grant to such employee 20 days of leave. In such case, it shall be paid. So, this is employee A. A's wife is got pregnant and have a baby, childbirth. In this case, employee A, the man, can have 20 days of paternity leave. Number 2 is paternity leave cannot be taken if 120 days had passed since the employee's spouse gave birth. The husband can apply the paternity leave to the company, but it should be, this is the birth date, it should be within 120 days from the birth date. When apply later than 120 days, it cannot be accepted, and the company can refuse to give the paternity leave to its employee. Number 3 is paternity leave may be split into up to 3 separate segments. 20 days can be split into 3 parts. For first 5 days, and then 5 days, and 10 days, like this. It can be split into three period. And also this long name, Equal Employment Opportunity and Work-Family Balance Assistance Act, Article 19. This is child care leave. Number 19. Child care leave. Number 1, where a pregnant female employee apply for a leave of absence. This is called as child care leave in order to raise his or her children aged 8 years or younger. Then the employer shall grant permission. Number 2, the period child care leave shall not exceed 1 year. Number 3, no employer shall dismiss, take any other disadvantageous measure against the employee on account of child care leave or dismiss the relevant employee during the period of child care leave. Number 4, after an employee uses child care leave, the employer shall reinstate the relevant employee in the same work as before or any other work paying the same level of wage. The period of child care leave shall be included in the period of his working continuous service. Number 1 is child care leave. Pregnant female employee apply for child care. So this child care leave can be applied only by the female employee. The husband is not is not allowed. But 18-2, paternity leave is for husband. Female employee only. this female employee apply the child care leave, the company should give her the child care leave up to 1 year. And then, of course, this period is, there is no need to pay salary to the employee. The employee can get it by the government. And after she came back to the company after 1 year or less child care leave, then she should be back to the same position or the similar position, paying the same level of salary. And this working period, 1 year, this child care leave is considered as working period, even though it's not payable, it's not paid, and then this should be included into the computation of severance amount. Other fringe benefit widely provided, even though not written in the law. This is written in the law, so this is obligatory, and company should be compliance to these rules. In addition to this, there is some traditionally given by the company to the employee. Number one is special leave for family event like marriage, bereavement. Actually, this is not mentioned in the law, but traditionally, some cases, some leave is given. For instance, employees own wedding, 3 to 5 days, for example. This is up to the company. And child's wedding, 1 to 3 days. Death of spouse, parent, or child, 3 to 5 days. Death of grandparent or parent-in-law, 1 to 3 days. This is an example. In most cases, these days are granted separately from annual paid leave, which means additionally given, which is considered a good practice. Number 2 is monetary support for family event or funeral or wedding, typically paired with a special leave policy. Number 3 is most companies follow a structure of base amount plus variation depending on the situation. Employees' own wedding, for example, company gave normally 200,000 Korea won to 500,000. Child's wedding, usually 100,000 to 300,000. This is up to the company, of course. Death of spouse or parent, 200,000, 500,000 plus funeral wreath. Death of grandparent or parent-in-law, 100,000 to 300,000 plus funeral wreath, and so on. This is actually a practice, not written in the law, but normally every company in Korea do the same thing. Many foreign or IT companies in Seoul simplify the policy by providing cash only, without any flowers. Number 3, additional parenthood support beyond the legal requirement. Common item observed among competitive employers in Seoul. Number 1 is childbirth congratulatory payment, like 500,000, 2 million, up to the company choice. Baby care is strollers, car seats, and so on. This is like a gift. Flexible or reduced working hour and beyond the legal minimum, and the flexible working hour for employee with early elementary school children. And this is actually an example of some generous companies doing good beneficial beneficial activity to its employee. Other common local benefits is birthday leave or birthday gift voucher, personal development allowance like books, language program, certification, and plus gain gym or wellness subsidy, and so on. So this is generally studied at the law and the traditions. So Firstly, the company should follow the law, which is prescribed. Many things are mentioned in the law. And number two is like custom, tradition. This is also done by every company, so it also should be taken care of. Thank you very much for listening to my lecture.